Hi everyone! So here is my unit plan. Where in the world are we going? And this is really this can be based off of my Spanish or my French classes. And this one really, as the title says, it's all about world. So as you can see from this unit summary, the students will learn about countries that speak the world language that they are learning, and they will also learn the culture of it as well. In this unit, they'll be learning additional vocabulary words about seasons, activities, and also learn the locations of those countries on a map and know their capitals as well, and some popular destinations. Students should have already learned how to conjugate present tense by this point. We're going to add on more words, reflexive verbs to be specific, and how to conjugate those and where to put proper pronouns. So as you can see, Spanish or French 1, and they're usually not any seniors in there because they'll probably need to finish with their second year by the time they graduate. Here are some of the content standards. Although it looks like a lot, especially in the culture, structures, and communications area, those are used throughout the year. So the activities used during this unit are just continuation and build on, but they're not necessarily just doing those standards in this unit alone. It's more specific on the content, which is those specific vocab words. As you can see, greetings, family and friends, celebration, holidays, calendar, weather, seasons, leisure, hobbies and activities, vacation, maps, destinations, and important dates in the culture. Here are also the big ideas, learning goals, and learning objectives. So again, the objectives were what were mentioned in the unit summary, and here are some big ideas that hopefully students will be able to answer by the time they finish. Moving on to the guide of this website. So as you can see, here will be the digital unit plan template and also the file up here, so you can download that. But these images do stay the same. If you click on them, they will enlarge and you'll be able to read it more clearly. And then down here is where we will put this video that you are currently watching. Moving on to assessments, here's a summary and the timeline of it. So entry level, they will engage in a class-wide discussion regarding right here, seasons, family members, holidays, activities they like doing. So this is just to engage their prior knowledge and to warm them up for this unit. During the formative stage, we'll be having 2 quizzes, one for vocabulary words and one for the map, so knowing where the countries and their capitals are, the graphic organizer for seasons and their activities, and a double puzzle, which are also regarding seasonal activities. For summative, they will have a cumulative unit test, reviewing all the vocabulary, grammar, and culture presented throughout the chapter, and they will also have an individual oral presentation directed towards the entire class. They will choose where they want to travel, and I can go down here and show you really quick. So here's the rubric for their presentation, and they will essentially choose whatever country, location they want to travel to, choose some popular destinations from there, and they will be graded on their grammar, ability to use the present tense properly, staying on topic, so not straying off of where they want to go or activities they're going to do, using at least 12 vocabulary words and 5 additional verbs that are not included in the vocabulary list, and making sure they have some creativity in their presentation as well as practicing their delivery. And going back up, during one of the activities is a double puzzle. They will unscramble these words on the left side and write it correctly, spelling over here on the right, and the words, letters with the number under it, will formulate one phrase at the end. So for lesson 1 will be my lecture, and it will come along. I'm going to press this because it will take a little bit to load. So it comes along with guided notes. So these do follow in sequential order the slides. Again, click on these, you'll see it, bigger version of it. So para revisar, to review, this will be their warm-up section, this entire top page actually. Just for their prior knowledge to start triggering it, so to speak. They will review how to conjugate in the present tense and practice some. And these are starting with the reflexive verbs that are new this unit, this chapter. There are some rooms for questions, and there are 2 practice sections, as well as new vocabulary terms, and they'll be using they'll have some practice with it in terms of where they would logically place them seasonally speaking. Okay, and as I said, this takes a little bit to load. Okay, so you can press either up here or down here. It will lead you to the same place. Again, this is their warm-up, and going through those questions to consider. This is to really help them analyze the concepts more than just textbook and memorization. So this is a little more analytical and critical thinking. Some practice problems here, just reflexive verbs and their conjugations, something that's new this unit again. Also new vocabulary, so they have 2 slides of that, as well as activity. They would speak with their partner. These activities are correlating to the correct seasons. Here's some more practice. This is a personal question. What is your favorite season? These are to describe their activities in a certain season. And this is just a practice with their partner, and these down here more to evaluate their knowledge and think of the future, what they would learn in the future using what they learned today. Lesson 2 is a Weber size, so again, these pictures will enlarge if you click on it. The file itself is right here for students who need to print it or something. So the activity for this is to use the internet to their advantage and learn, start to research, I suppose, themselves. So the questions are over here, and each section is color-coded. So this pink section refers to this pink URL up here, so it goes to La Basílica de la Sagrada Familia, and they will learn about this church temple. They'll also learn about Machu Picchu, and down here, Christ the Redeemer, the statue in Brazil. So this activity specifically are for my Spanish classes, to take that into account. Here's the third lesson, the graphic organizer. They will be completing essentially an activity or worksheet based on the vocabulary they learned, putting a definition of it in English, and then writing a sentence with at least 7 words per sentence. All the directions are up here. And then they do have a rubric down here of what it is, what the standards are, so all points will be times 2. So this is 24 point 16 actually. 16-point activity, and it's based on vocabulary, if they know it correctly spelling-wise, and their definitions, and following the directions, and writing the sentences with at least 7 words, and conjugating it correctly. All those will be taken into account. I'll fix that. Okay, and going down here is a sample that I made myself, so students will know kind of the standard that I am looking for. And that's the same, so there's 4 seasons, they fill it out themselves, whichever box they want it to correlate to, as long as they go together correctly. We also have our unit resources over here, so some for the Spanish classes. This is to practice their math.